Does increased student engagement really increase student comprehension rates? That's what we set out to research a little bit. We found something really interesting if you stick around. I'm Nik Diederich. My colleagues that contributed to this research are Dr. David McMillan, Dr. Manhong, Eric Hun, and Sharon Su. As we know, faculty go to great lengths to engage their students, but do these efforts go unnoticed, or do they actually help improve student comprehension? Engagement simply means how involved, focused, and interested students were during different learning activities in this research. We then examined the correlation between students' engagement and their comprehension after different learning activities in a dental histology course. 100 dental students were divided into 20 groups of 5 students to complete 2 different learning activities on enamel histology and dentin histology, respectively. For each learning activity, the groups were given access to a slide presentation and a worksheet to complete together as a group. Following each learning activity, students took a 9-question formative assessment, or a quiz, to determine their level of comprehension. They then took a survey and indicated their level of engagement during each learning activity. Statistical analyses were conducted to examine the correlation between student engagement and comprehension. There was a statistically significant relationship between student engagement and comprehension on the first learning activity, as you can see here, the enamel learning activity with the p-value of 0.002. However, there was not a correlation that was statistically significant during the dentin learning activity, which was the second learning activity for us, with a p-value of 0.774. As you can see on this graph from the enamel activity, the one that was statistically significant in correlating student engagement with student comprehension. If you look at the strong trend of the blue line here, the students who rated themselves after they took their quiz as being very engaged during the learning process of this breakout. As you can see, the students who rated themselves as very engaged tended to receive higher quiz scores. Strong trend here. However, on this graph for the second learning activity, we do not see that same strong trend. And in fact, there's no statistically significant correlation here. The same blue line, if you look at that, shows a very weak trend, almost no trend at all. And you can see that the students who rated themselves as very engaged, or even the engaged students, did not score as highly as they did on the first learning activity. So this study found that students were more engaged sometimes, and that could lead to comprehension, but other times their engagement didn't lead to increased comprehension. Pretty much what this is saying is that engagement is not always directly correlated with increased comprehension rates, suggesting the need for continued research on additional factors in the learning process that correlates to increased comprehension. In the future, this could help students with their academic performance. Thank you.